Welcome to Unacademy. This is Success Sampath interacting with you. Do you want to become IAS, IPS, IFS officer? We Unacademy, with top educators of India and meticulously designed quality content waiting for you. Once you enroll, you're going to undergo a great learning experience. You know well, Unacademy, India's largest and the best online learning platform. So once you enroll yourself, you get unlimited access to the live and recorded courses, especially from India's best educator. What are the benefits you are likely to get once you enroll? You know well, you got daily live classes. You can chat with your educator, engage in all-round productive discussions. You can ask all your genuine doubts and you can participate in the polls. All these things you can do when the session is going on. Yes, beyond that, you got structured courses. It is in alignment with the syllabus and pattern of the examinations so that you never get deviated from the expected framework. And it's not knowing the stuff, knowing to deliver the stuff. We want to evaluate your preparation then and there also, especially by conducting mock test, quiz program, and you get very detailed analysis or report based on your performance, where you are strong, where you are weak, and what time you took in solving a particular question. Right. And as I told you earlier, the unlimited access, once you enroll, unlimited access to all the live and recorded courses, and you can watch from anywhere, anytime, according to your convenience, especially the availability of devices from your end, maybe mobile phone, laptop, desktop, whatever may be. And for that, what you have to do, please download Unacademy Learning app immediately. It may be your Android or iOS. Accordingly, you can write. And with this Success Sampath interacting with you, if you ask me, I'm from Chennai. I got the unique experience of got exposed to engineering education, management, and legal education. With 25 years of experience in coaching UPSC Civil Service Examination, in shaping the aspirants so that they realize their dreams, goals, I could witness 250 plus results as IAS, IPS, IRS, and IFS officials working in different parts of India and the world. My vision is to provide career solution, especially by enabling Indian youth at the starting level. Maybe I may embrace the globe later. Fortunately, this particular vision of mine is in alignment with Unacademy. We are working together to shape you so that you realize your dream, goal. And there are other top educators, the best educators from India. So you're going to get the support from that too. Especially under UPSC Civil Service Examination, you got more than 15,000 courses, starting from NCERT classes, everyday current affairs newspaper analysis, and practice sessions, answer writing practices, subject-wise module, even duration-based modules. And you may be, according to your convenience and budget, you can join, choose the course. In spite of that, we recommend you strongly to focus on these two programs, especially the Plus program and Iconic program on the part of UPSC Civil Services Examination. Here you got 1 year course, even 2 years course. Say if you join Plus program, you got live classes, test series, unlimited practices, and beyond that, structured schedule. Say if you join 12 months program using my referral code. So the very purpose you are in front of me, you want to achieve success. So you can use this success referral code to avail 10% discount so that you end up paying mere 39,600 for 1 year program. If you go for 24 months or 2 years program, using the same referral code, success, you can avail 10% discount. You end up paying mere 57,600. Technically speaking, you pay just 2,667 rupees per month for your course. And if you work it out in terms of per day basis, it comes that 80 to 100 rupees whether you join plus program or iconic program. So it's not even your snacks expenditures. So but utilize that particular useful money towards your career goal. As I told you, my strong emphasis, my strong recommendation towards this iconic program, because so once you become officer, the next 25 to 30 years, you are going to lead the nation in different capacities. Great things will take time. So you are supposed to devote your next 2 years in this direction. So the next 2 years, what you are going to do, going to decide your next 25 to 30 years of your wonderful career. So that 2 years, that is the main reason we recommend you to go for the 24 months or 2 years program, especially iconic. What is the specialty? See, apart from plus program, this iconic, which has got a special personal coach for you. He or she will take care of all your the issues, and she or he may suggest study planner according to your nature, and you got daily mains question and answer writing practice, and you will be getting personalized feedback. That is a specialty. The mentor or personal coach, to guide you. So every day you will be in touch with them to get the feedback. That's fantastic. So if you choose this iconic program using my referral code, say success, you'll be getting 10% discount for 1 year program. So you end up paying mere 57,600. Probably if you enroll, as we emphasized, the 24 months or 2 years program, after availing the 10% discount through the using of the referral code, say success, you end up paying mere 89,100, right? So it is that way. Technically speaking, as I told you, you end up paying mere 80 to 100 rupees per day for the so-called your ambition or goal. So make use of the benefits available through Unacademy platform. Yes. Today, what is the very purpose of our interaction, if you ask me? Your score that is going to decide your service. Your score that is going to decide your rankings. So whether you are going to be IAS or IPS, IFS, IRS, everything decided by the score. The score you get in main examination. Well, the main has got mains written, mains interview. In mains written, you got variety of optionals, but where the sociology is very popular subject. So that is what we are going to discuss today. But especially in that particular popular subject, how to score more? I think I am qualified enough to speak about this, because in my days, I could get, grand score. I was earlier called Sociology Sampath also, now Success Sampath. Right. So it is that you too can join me in scoring more so that you reach your destination, the desired service, your dream, goal. So on that particular note, we are going to discuss the grand strategy to score more in sociology. The content of our today's discussion is going to be why sociology is a popular optional subject, and what is the relationship between sociology and the general studies papers of mains, even the essay paper, ethics. You got another, part 4. And beyond that, how much time that you have to devote to complete this preparation? What is the success rate this particular optional subject, sociology, enjoying among all other optional subjects? And the topic wise, based on syllabus, topic wise analysis we are going to carry out so that you understand your focus, the priorities of the syllabus items, and the very core, the grand strategy, the split up analysis, and we are going to discuss so that the very purpose will be addressed after facilitating through various other measures. And the role of current affairs, in what way it's going to benefit your sociology. or even preparing for sociology, how it's going to benefit your current affairs parallelly, but emphasis differs, you will come to know. And beyond that, we used to emphasize it's not knowing the stuff, knowing to deliver the stuff, the delivery, the answer writing practices. At the end of the day, you're going to write 1750 marks for which you're going to write. That demands practice. Okay, practice makes everyone perfect, including yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And the very challenges you are likely to encounter once you choose this optional. And beyond that, what are all the resources to be consulted so that you score fantastic out of 500. If you strictly adhere to all this process, let me give you guarantee you can go beyond 400, beyond 450 plus. Why not? Small aim is crime. Think big, aim high. Only when you aim at star, at least you can land on moon. Who stopped you? The greatest sin, you draw your own limitations. Please don't. You please come out of that limitation. Unleash your potential. These and all the steps we are going to discuss, the part of the content of today's discussion. Yes. Why the sociology subject? From my days to till your days, it's very popular, established optional subject. If you ask me, it's very easy to understand and quite interesting too. Because I'm a guy from Tamil medium background up to 12th standard. Then, as I told you, my exposure and especially the engineering, management, law, the government services, sociology was a new subject to me. But it was quite interesting because, see, the very society you are living in, you're going to know about it. Because you want to know what is society, what is community, the family you are living in, various social institutions, and your peer group and association. That all these social groups and the change happening in those institutions you call social change, and what is caste, class, the social stratification, why people are getting divided. And each and every institution you are going to study in detail. In my opinion, the syllabus is very simple. It's getting elaborated in such a way, paper 1, paper 2, because the emphasis difference. Yes, so in Tamil we say karumbu dinna kooli. So for every time you take lunch or tiffin, after that if your mom gives packet money, it's totally different scenario. It's same is the case. You're going to learn about society. For that you're going to you got optional subject sociology that's going to give you a lot of benefits and in shaping you as an officer. And beyond that, you don't need any background. As I cited my example. You don't, if you want to opt sociology, you should have done BA sociology, MA sociology. Nothing like that. If you get, and that the very simple interest, and beyond that, if you want to know about society with good communication skill, that is more than sufficient. You don't need any background. What may be, irrespective of your graduation, you can opt sociology. And you can score more in general studies as well as essay paper. We are going to elaborate also because of the sociology. It's a multitasking, parallel processing. With one stuff, you are capable of delivering in all platforms. That benefits more, reduces your time. And 3 to 4 months to complete the syllabus, the time duration. That is the reason, that in a simple shortage, there are guys I know in having cleared prelims, they opted this paper, scored very well, they are in service now. Within short duration, you can understand, you can deliver, you can practice. And it's not only that, the very subject that gives you clarity, the very objectivity, core principle of sociology, you are capable of seeing two sides of a single coin. Your judgment will be fantastic. It's not judgmental I'm talking about. So that's going to help you in your oral interview and the stand what you take over various issues. That will be totally different. If a person opting sociology whose answers, views, opinions will be par excellence in my opinion, I benefit out of it. Welcoming you also once again to Unacademy to benefit the same way, right? And this, that sociology, I said, you'll be scoring more marks. Where? In general studies, if you specifically ask me, that's general studies paper 1. Every year, especially last year, you had around 2019, around 75 marks for which you got the questions belonging to society. It's closely related with the subject matter of sociology, because after all, sociology, you know well, no need of going to basics, you got separate sessions for that. It is all about, study about society. So the society related questions, minimum 42, maximum 75 marks you get from, GS paper 1. Once you prepare sociology, very simple. But you have to write only in general version in GS, but in sociology, that flavor is different, we are going to share. Therefore, sociology, it is a comfort zone for you in making a better presentation of your answers and scoring very good marks. That is the main reason we are discussing. That's why it became very popular, well. Yeah. So you said, GS paper 1, how, sir? This is what the syllabus of, GS paper. You would have already gone through sociology syllabus. If not, you can go through. And the GS paper syllabus, it looks like sociology syllabus. See, the salient aspects of diversity of India and Indian society, role of women, women organization, see, population associated issues, poverty, development issues, urbanization, problems, remedies, and social empowerment, and the communalism, regionalism, secularism, effects of globalization on Indian society. See, it is the syllabus with sociology you can easily face. And this is what, the questions you witness there. What makes Indian society unique? See, in sustaining its culture, empowering women in the is the key to control population growth. And what are all the challenges to our cultural practices in the name of secularism? Do we have cultural packets of small India all over the nation? I elaborate with the examples. And what are the continued challenges for women in India against time and space? Are we losing our local identity for the global identity? Discuss. See, all these questions, that about society, and in sociology with perspectives flavor, you will do thorough preparation. You don't need to prepare for this separately, because sociology helps you. And it's not only in the general studies paper 1, even in essay, normally definitely you get two topics, two essays related to that society, related to sociology. Say, for example, in 2019, the values are not what humanity is, but what humanity ought to be. These nuances, you should know first of all what is society, what do you mean by value system, what is culture, your clear understanding in the basic concepts that you get in sociology. Letter and spirit, that's going to help you, that's going to enrich your understanding, that's going to enrich your delivery. And beyond that, see, the next topic, the best for an individual is not necessarily the best for the society. What is best for Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, even the ISIS people, even that religious fundamentalists may not be good for the society, the perverts. So you will come to know more. And beyond that, so the Kothari committee recommendations, the destiny of the nation is shaped in its classroom. What we are doing now, the virtual classroom, the same. You're going to shape the nation, right? We are shaping you. You're going to shape the nation. You're going to take the nation to the next level. It is a leader in the making. As we call nation in the making, you are, what we are doing, a leader in the making. So these topics, that what we discuss very clearly, for that you should understand what is nation. It's a community. How it is different from society, the clarity. So you got, devoted educational institution chapter in sociology, and you got a lot of sociologists going to, but in essay you need not write thinkers. I'm talking about the basic information. The fulfillment of new women in India is a myth. So it's not only, that essay, you talk about, ethics. Out of 250 marks, 130 marks meant for case studies in ethics paper. Ethics is all about, that it's more than law. It's about your morality, how honest, how integrity that you practice in the individual sphere, social sphere, public administration, even in the environmental sphere. See, where your sociological understanding, letter and spirit is going to help you there. That you will, they will be very comfortable in dealing with case studies. So all social problems are getting reflected as, case studies in ethics. This is a way. So not only GS, also benefiting your essay, also benefiting your oral interview. So what is the timeline normally you take for preparing this optional subject? If you ask me, that may vary. Yeah, it's a well-known fact that may vary from person to person. It's totally depending on individuals' grasping power and availability of time for study. And ideally, I think 4 months more than sufficient to cover the whole syllabus. But I want you to balance, divide your time equally for both paper 1, paper 2. Because after all, paper 2, the Indian society, the paper 1, the theories, concepts, what you learn, you're going to apply in Indian context. That's what paper 2. Please go through. I want you to be thorough. That's what I'm going to tell in the future. The paper 1 gives you holistic understanding of the sociological theory and fundamental concepts, but its application in Indian context is paper 2. But I want you to build an analytical approach to understand the problems and development of Indian society. Got the idea? No, it is not that the parochial version, the 360-degree analytical version, the various perspectives you are going to get exposed, you will come to know. So it is in-depth analysis that's going to help you. So anyway, 4 months more than sufficient. So what about the success rate of this sociology? Definitely it is around 10%. It is great percentage. For your information, you will come to know more. So among other social sciences, other subject matter, that is the reason it is very popular. You got seasonal subjects, but sociology is not like that, well. So it is always, around that. So whatever maybe, even up to 2009, I may say this particular, that statistics, 2019 it may be applicable, and go beyond that, topic-wise analysis. In my opinion, if you take into account, paper 1, so the very important, that portion, that is, thinkers. If you're good at thinkers, see, you can go up to, that 250 marks put together, the share I'm talking about. See, in another topic, of course, social change, then the politics and society, the social stratification unit, and sociology and its relationship with other social sciences. See, these are all the major the units you have to give priority while preparing. You will understand once you go through the previous year questions, that you are very strong then. Right. So, but you have to understand your priority. That is the main purpose of this particular split up. And go beyond that. For paper 2, if you ask me, the last unit, especially the challenges of social transformation, how the social change, what is social change? Change in society, structurally, culturally, the change in terms of social institutions, the change in terms of, that otherwise functionality. Where you talk about, globalization, modernization, Sanskritization, westernization, you will come to know all those concepts. And beyond that, the unique system in India, that is caste system, the Varnashrama Dharma. And you're going to learn about it because India lives in villages, according to Mahatma Gandhi. Predominantly, it is influenced. Even the caste and polity, Rajni Kothari says, the relationship, because people are not casting their votes, they are voting their caste. And identity politics, populistic measures, everything. So the vote bank politics, politicization, everything you come to know. So the impact of colonial rule we are talking about, and rural and agrarian transformation accordingly, the industrialization and urbanization. So all these priority units you will come to know, and we are going to discuss in detail in the future sessions. So what is the grand strategy? If you ask me, these are all the simple things we are talking about. Sir, what is the grand strategy to score more, as you said, more than 450 plus out of 500, more than 400 even? First, you should memorize the syllabus. You should know topics and subtopics. Read 4 to 5 times possible. Close your eyes. Even for essay, the same practice we tell you. Even in the examination hall, go through, close your eyes, and repeat many a times so that you stay with the the very topic. The same is the case here with topic and subtopics. See, I want you to refer very standard books I'm going to recommend at the end of this lecture, and you are supposed to prepare for minimum 200 to 250 words per topic. And I want you to use the original definition of thinkers. It's not your own definition. That will dilute the process. Like Karl Marx said, history of hitherto existing society is full of struggle. The struggle between haves and have-nots. Let me put it very simple statement. The change is permanent. The very famous definition. The sociology is nothing but study of social facts, Emile Durkheim says. Sociology is nothing but interpretative understanding of social action. It's not memorizing. That comes automatically when you go through regularly, but famous quotes, no compromise. The paper 2, where you have to blend both static as well as current content, the dynamic content. So what are all the things happening, that the current affairs, all social issues getting reflected. You should develop your own, opinion based on the sociological perspectives and try to relate, and you take notes, because it's not taking notes in different, that notebooks and forgetting every, finally, when you approach the examination. I want you to work in such a way. There should be a consolidated notes so that your revision becomes very easier. Because without revision, that having worked for 4 months, if you don't revise properly, so the revision should, this is very, very important component. Everyday revision should be there, weekly revision, fortnightly revision, monthly revision. So then final, before you write model test, there should be another revision that enriches, so that you don't commit mistakes, you don't mix the facts finally. Otherwise your presentation becomes that very crisp, clear, and you save time too, you don't get confused. The very role of current affairs, if you ask me, the section C of paper 2, especially that the current affairs portion, if you ask me what are all those, it's about the informal sector. Around 90% of Indian labor market, informal sector, not formal mechanism, informal sector. The government is taking a lot of efforts, and eradication of child labor, the slums, urban poverty we call, and deprivation urban areas, violence against women, gender justice, the poverty, deprivation and associated inequalities, and regionalism, centrifugal tendencies, the decentralization of power. And these are all the things, part of internal security you would have studied, and even secularization, the trend you witness towards modernity, and recent Supreme Court judgments, policies, programs. And you have to add a lot of relevant examples for the current issues, right? So it is those, what you study in current affairs, what you study in sociology, it's going to benefit your current affairs portion. And what you that study in current affairs also going to benefit this, that paper 2 session, that section we are talking about. And what are all the, that sources, if you ask me, the Hindu, Indian Express editorials, and Economic and Political Weekly, that this is all giving you relevant information, and various sociologists, Indian sociologists writing very good write-ups that may be highly useful. And you have to refer periodically, take notes out of it, especially in your consolidated notes. That facilitated the very revision in general, the end revision. The answer writing practice, what is it said? Well, it's not knowing the stuff, knowing to deliver the stuff. I'm repeating this statement because delivery matters. The guy is good at preparing. On the day of examination, they couldn't even elaborate the answers. We have seen a lot of candidates like that. So before going to that the very examination that demands a lot of your segment tests, model tests, mock tests, whatever maybe you call. So prepare all topics and subtopics by making linkages. You should know how to the cross linkages. And you have to, that all your practice, what you do, that should be based on previous year questions. So that, you never get deviated. Moreover, the questions are getting repeated for your kind information. So that's what I say, 4 to 5 questions are repeated, the same questions. Education and mobility, old age problems, ethnicity and religion, value neutrality, same questions getting repeated. 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 questions getting repeated otherwise. So write as many answers as possible and please get it evaluated from us. You should know it's not simply writing and going to the examination. You should get proper feedback and correct yourself. Then you go for model tests, and within time bounded the limitations that you meet that. And paper 1, paper 2 should be seen in an integrated form. As I told you, theories and perspectives, of course, paper 1, application in Indian context is paper 2. So that the role of major perspectives, that whether it is structural functionalism, conflict school of thought, and minimal role played by symbolic interactionism, school perspective, even feminism, the minor role played by that, but major perspectives, well, structural functionalism, which talks about society as a system, which has got order, and functional, dysfunctional accordingly. And even the very conflict school of thought, which sees society in terms of, change, the change because of, revolution, the radical nature. So it is that way you will come to know more about it. So role of major perspectives, very crucial. And answer writing practice, not only that, the effective use of, that the data, especially the statistics and case studies wherever possible. In paper 1, you have to incorporate global case studies. In paper 2, the Indian case studies, especially, the case studies, M.N. Srinivas, Andre Tile, Sripuram village, and the Mysore, village especially, you will come to know. And IP Desai, you please refer that book. You've got a lot of case studies you can get from there. And complete the syllabus and join. Once you complete the syllabus, your preparation, you have to join test series immediately, because that only, that set you on track. As I told you, that it's beyond that everyday practice. It's not, practicing occasionally then and there, every day. Because that dinacharya, that's what we call dinacharya. Even if you do imperfectly, don't worry. But it should be done perfectly, that with consistency. With consistency, that will be appropriate. The sociology related current affairs, you take notes out of it, and wherever possible, you are supposed to quote thinkers, because it's not only case studies and the relevant data you mentioned. So the flavor, sociological flavor should come there. When in paper 1, you bring all, the global thinkers. Of course, you begin with, the Karl Marx, wherever possible, Emile Durkheim, the Max Weber, Talcott Parsons, Robert K. Merton, wherever possible. The Herbert Spencer, August Comte, everybody, you bring them. You have to quote thinkers. But whereas in paper 2, you know very well, M.N. Srinivas, A.R. Desai, Yogendra Singh, IP Desai, that K.M. Kapadia, you're going to bring all these people in paper 2 also. So, but underline keywords. What is this? See, whenever you write your answers, that after importing the keywords, you better underline, so that it becomes visible, so you attract the evaluators. You please correct me here, like. And even in the Hindu articles, newspaper articles, those days it used to come with keywords at the bottom. So without those keywords, you can't understand the very keywords. Same way you underline. But before going there, you should be very thorough with keywords. That's very important. With the support of all dictionaries, whether William P. Scott, Oxford, or Penguin dictionaries available in the market, you go through each and every word for which you should have sociological meaning. Wherever possible, please draw diagrams. Don't say, sir, it is social science, how come we can go for diagrams? You can ask me. No, definitely it is possible. I'll teach you a lot of that techniques for that. The diagrams, by seeing the diagram we can understand whether this guy understood or not. Otherwise, you attract the examiner, evaluator immediately by diagram. You reduce the burden of that evaluator from going through line by line. So but that demands practice. It's possible. We will train you. And beyond that, any writing, any piece of writing, any article, any answer for the sociology portion, paper 1, paper 2, there should be a good introduction, impress you. See, otherwise, let me tell this way: your first line, what you are going to write in a paragraph, that's called golden line. Even in essay, I used to tell, your first line will speak whether you understood the concept, whether you understood the question or not. The very first line. So the first impression is the best impression. You should know how to. Otherwise, you should be promising. You should create some sort of curiosity to the evaluator. Wow, this guy is going to say something. So that should be a good introduction. That otherwise it should be a summary of what you're going to elaborate later. And there should be a structure: introduction, body, conclusion. The body, there you are talking about, that very analysis, and that where you use a lot of facts, substantiation, and there should be a flow, because the whole message should be conveyed in the whole body. There should be, that you should plan in such a way. Take few minutes to plan before you writing, because that's what we say. If we fail to plan, we plan for our failure. So please plan before you deliver. So flow and continuity, that matters. It should be a smooth flow. It should be a wonderful experience when we go through your articles. That demands practice. And at the end, that when you finish the conclusion, please end with positive note. It should be optimistic. So you should know how to finish it. You should be a good finisher, like MS Dhoni. How to finish it. That please think about all these, that nuances, and beyond that, your answer should be well balanced. The sociology is all about objectivity. It's not taking sides. That is why you got the various perspectives: structural functionalism, conflict school of thought. So it is not that getting influenced. all your answers should be well balanced. You don't go, otherwise you are not, it is not sociological way of representing your informations then. Got the idea? So it is not, talking about conflict school from, that structural functionalism. You should know which home you are now. So accordingly, you have to present your views, so that the very point is objectivity. Don't become subjective. Don't get emotionally influenced. It's almost like seeing two sides of a single coin. Yes. And you got right. The in-depth understanding, in-depth, the criticism sometimes you go for wherever needed. The criticism that should be constructive in nature. Like, even in essay, this particular thing, we suggest you the constructive criticism. It's not simply criticizing, you provide alternatives there. Right. So these are all the ways with which, that you go for answer writing. And I said I was talking about very thinkers. Who are all they? I think probably it may give you at the end of, that the 18th century, beginning of the 19th century, the very birth of subject matter called sociology, in response to various revolutions happen in the world, how the various social institutions underwent change, the chaos. Then people got confused. The social thinkers started writing about the very subject. That culminated in sociology, well. So Auguste Comte, who is said to be the founding father of sociology. Then, of course, the Saint Simon, the social Darwinist, Herbert Spencer, organic analogy. And then you talk about Emile Durkheim, Talcott Parsons, American sociologist, Talcott Parsons, and then R.K. Merton, structural functionalism. And you talk about the Marxian tradition that begins with the Karl Marx. But Karl Marx is a disciple of, got influenced in the beginning by, Hegel, the Hegel who spoke about, that idealism, dialectic idealism, ideas responsible for change in the world. But Karl Marx said material resources responsible for change in the world. To have ownership over material resources, the struggle, the antagonism, then ultimately that leads to change. That's why the change is constant, change is permanent. Then you got various Frankfurt school of thoughts, and you got symbolic interactionism, feminism, and even the idealism, that begins with Immanuel Kant, Ferdinand Tönnies, the Max Weber belonging to Marxian tradition, conflict school of thought with difference, the contribution, bureaucracy, the Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. So I'm just introducing, few names. The thinkers will be. It will be fantastic. You come to know the very society you are living in, how it underwent phenomenal shift. The sociology is all about society, especially the modern society. In response to various revolutions happened at the end of 18th century. So it has got its own relevance. It has got its own objectivity. It has got its own perspectives. That's why it has become important subject matter for all, journalism, legal studies, the planners, legislators, international organizations, because the very objectivity, the cultural relativism with which you never take sides, the report of sociology in such a way, it's well balanced. So through these thinkers, you will come to know. This is just to, that give you a brief information. I did not touch Indian thinkers, that it will, in the future session, we can cover more. And coming back to, that answer writing practice, it is not one-sided. It should be a multi-dimensional, that answer. Multi-dimensions in the sense, it's not only, from perspectives angle, structural functionalism or conflict school of thought. Also, that say, for example, if you're asked to analyze the Green Revolution, and you have to analyze that Green Revolution's impact, how on female labor force, the sex ratio imbalance, landholding pattern, the rural mobility. The Green Revolution became Red Revolution, it benefited few packets. And also it's, that all, the multidimensional approaches we are talking about. India attained self-sufficiency in food grains because of Green Revolution. But this is the scenario. And GS type questions, especially Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act we are talking about, it is linked with rural transformation, poverty, women upliftment, migration, stopping migration especially, and that the creation of rural assets we call, social change development, environmental change. All these, current affairs, GS related questions, you also go through part of sociology, but emphasis differs. In sociology, you provide general information with facts, all those stuffs. But here in sociology, it is in general studies, it is general version. In sociology, it is from perspectives. This is what the basis is. The flavor should be there by incorporating some case studies, some social thinkers according to the context. And the perception or experience of social institutions, even the events and inequalities, what you witness may be different from others. That varies from person to person. So it is very natural. Your way of looking at things may be totally different from others. Nothing wrong, because there is no perfect or absolute answer. In optionals, in essay, whatever, even in general studies, this is what we are talking about. So that may vary from person to person. But I want you to use, that all these steps to your advantage, understanding all these, nuances. So the scope for writing extremely different answers, that comes down. Otherwise, that works in favor of your score. You take advantage of that particular measure. Beyond that, the challenges, of course, nothing is free from challenges, but you got more advantages when you go for sociology. That is what we were enlisting. That's why it is still popular. And but there comes one saying, according to Albert Einstein, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So understanding is very, very crucial. So for that understanding, if you got any problem, please refer dictionary. That's what I'm saying. So you begin with the NCERT, you begin with, that IGNO material. So very clearly explain. So after that, you move to the textbook, the resources I'm going to talk here. So you got very less advantages, but less disadvantages, more advantages, I'm saying. But for that, you should have interest. If you've got passion, it will come to you, whatever may be the field. So you develop interest to know about society, to know about your community, to know about all social institutions, why these institutions are changing, why this caste institution behaving this way, why upper class, middle class, lower class, why poverty, why unemployment, why child labor, why gender injustice, all social problems. You develop interest to know about society. In that process, you're knowing about sociology. That passion, if you develop, it's over. If only thing that you have to take care there, that we may that talk about challenges. Then it involves one understanding and perspective of society. Got the idea? As we said, the understanding. How do you understand? What is your perspective about society? All will get shattered the moment you go through the subject matter, because the structural functionalism, conflict school of thought, and various thinkers, the way with which that they present their views will totally change your personality. So for that, you have to submit yourself. That's important. And one should be able to critically analyze different perspectives, go in depth. As I told you already, there is no right answer or wrong answer. We talk for a particular question, that you try to do justice from different perspectives with thorough understanding, with the so-called your perspective about society, your stand. So the various theories and concepts, perspectives, it may not be interesting for some people, but once you are thorough with key terms, perspectives, it may not be a challenge. It takes you to the next level. So these are all the normal challenges you may encounter, but you can overcome. That's what the main point we would like to emphasize. What are all the resources to be consulted? So first I mentioned the dictionaries, William P. Scott, even Duncan Mitchell, the fantastic dictionary available in the market, and Oxford, Penguin. You refer all those dictionaries for each and every word available in the syllabus. As I told you, it's not only writing 200 to 250 words for every topic, subtopic, and before you write, for every word available in your syllabus, you should know the meaning. That is the first step. That understanding, that very, very important for this sociology. Okay, that's sociology, that dictionaries. Then of course, you begin with the NCERT, then go for, the IGNO materials. You can download also. Then you go for, the textbooks. The textbooks, of course, you got the people call, that Shankar Rao, all those stuffs, and you got the orange sociology book, Harlamba, Sociological Themes and Perspectives. And for thinkers, that Ritzer and Douglas Goodman, that's fantastic book. And you got, T.B. Bottomore. At the bottom, you got a lot of, references. Bottomore, we understand that way. So that's also, that wonderful book. And Abraham Morgan, it's another masterpiece. So, and even for paper 2, your NCERT books and IGNO materials, and the books by, M.N. Srinivas, Yogendra Singh, and, that A.R. Desai, and Dipankar Gupta also available, and the Yogendra Singh, Modernization of Indian Tradition, and Veena Das, and for current affairs portions, you go through Yojana, the Hindu articles, especially various sociologists, especially that Shiv Viswanathan and Ramachandra Guha. There are so many people, that Gail Womwit articles, and Economic and Political Weekly. I think with these sources, I think I'm pretty sure I could score fantastic marks. I also, that welcome you to score more by utilizing, but more things, to be discussed in the future sessions and test series also. You'll benefit more by participating. Yes, for that, what do you have to do? That we told you many times, welcome to Unacademy, ladies and gentlemen. So please utilize my, that referral code success. This is success Sampath interacting with you, right? So you get 10% discount, and please, that choose iconic programs so that the more you stay and more you get. That is what the concept. All the very best and fantastic. Have a nice day. Thank you.